Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Schoolboy here, back with another episode of Uncommon Opinions with my girl Whitney DTV. We're coming back to y'all tonight for part 2 of Dr. Umar Jhonson's, controversial comments on interracial dating. And that, we shouldn't be out here swirling our chocolate with this vanilla milkshake that is out here and making these, what do they call them? Swirl ice cream children. So he's saying basically stay within your race. Do not do all this race mixing because y'all depleting the race. That's what he said. He said black men are depleting the race. That don't apply to me because I'm not over on that side. But I'm just saying that's what he's saying. That's what he's saying. If y'all caught us last week, this is the continuation. On this part, we're more or less letting you, as the viewers, call in, chime in on the situation. Let me go ahead and start get some housekeeping out the way first, before we go ahead and start. Bishop will be a little bit late. He's joining us because right now he has his live on, but we're going to keep it cute and keep it on time from beginning to end today. Amen. Let the church say amen. All right, scholars. So before we go ahead and get started, if you would like, comment, and subscribe to the channels, make sure that every time I go live or every time we have an episode of Uncommon Opinions, you get that notification. Make sure you hit that notification bell button down below as well. Subscribe to the channel. We are less than 30 subscribers away from 4K. We've done that in 5 months, ladies and gentlemen. 5 months. 4K in 5 months. Nobody really does 4K in 5 months. That's awesome. So congratulate everybody. I thank you for all the love and support. I just wanted to shout y'all out, fam. Also as well, I am wearing another shirt for my partnership with the Maniacs Company. And you know what it says, uneffable. And yes, my chakras are aligned tonight. And no matter what you say to me, you will not bother my spirit. Amen. You can always click the link in the description box. It will take you to the website where you can go and purchase everything that y'all purchase. I do get half of those proceeds underneath my brand with them. So you're supporting a black business, plus you are supporting a black creative and a black channel. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and segue into the comments here. I'm going to go ahead and bring my good sis in on the screen. Did you want to say anything? Recap? Before we recap, did you want to say anything?
No, hello everybody, and welcome to the channel. We are here again with another segment of Uncommon Opinions. Tonight, I'm Black Business on down. This particular shirt that I got on says, "Lights don't pay my bills." Okay. I can't remember who this was from, but I do have another Black-owned business, and this is Supernatural LLC, Supernatural Cosmetics, and this shade is Angelic, if I'm not mistaken, but not for nothing. If you are viewing from Whitney DTV, you can check the description box down below and support this Black-owned business. But besides that, hey everybody who's saying hey to me, hey. You mute, baby.
I don't know why that joint just went ahead and muted me. That's the devil. We're going to go ahead and do the quick recap of what we talked about last week. We have a short little clip. So anybody that missed last week's episode and y'all didn't watch it, you can now go ahead and catch up. That way you kind of know what we're talking about and you ain't sitting here looking lost in the comments in the sauce. So I'm going to go ahead and play that video. Give me 1 second.
Get out my head.
everybody. Look at us.
What's good? How y'all doing?
You totally against interracial relationships?
I am totally against it, and I want to make sure you understand why. It's not because... Cut it out, Envy. Cut it out, Envy.
Don't do that, Envy. I'm going to be having a serious conversation.
We have a name for it. We have a name for it. The Snow Bunny Crisis.
Okay.
I am against the Snow Bunny Crisis. And I want your white listeners to understand. Because people be trying to say stuff like, he's the Black Hitler. I'm not the Black Hitler. I am in no way interested in hurting or harming the life of any human, white, Asian, Chinese. I believe in respecting everybody. The reason I'm against interracial marriage, Envy and Charlemagne, is because marriage is an economic contract. It's an economic contract. Most women do not marry down in status. They marry up. And if you don't believe me, show me a rich white woman married to a broke-ass black man. Have you ever seen a rich white woman marry a broke-ass black man? No, you have not, and you never will. Because marriage ain't about love, it's not colorblind, and it is totally economic. So if marriage is an economic unification and a contract, how can we, who don't have enough already, give so much to the white woman and to white people who have already taken too much when we got all these black women out here who will never get married? Only 1 out of every 4 black women in America will ever taste marriage. And half of them who taste marriage will be divorced within 5 years. If you want to save the black family, you have to protect it. And in order to protect it, you have to be against interracial marriage. You can't say, I love the black family, but I don't have a problem with interracial marriage. Interracial marriage is eliminating the black family because it is not providing our women with enough available and able black men to be their husbands.
So
it's not just white. It's not just white women. You just feel white women, Asian,
everybody. Nobody should be marrying out the race because there's political consequences. DJ
question, Dr. Umar.
I agree with him. You know, marriage is not about love. It's actually a contract, and even when you go to different cultures, it's never been about love.
Well, when you going to jump in because you ready, you hot.
I beg to differ. And no offense, I love me some Bishop, okay? But I'm in a marriage. I'm a married woman. And so my thing is this. I feel as though you do yourself a disservice if you go into it with a political mind frame. Run to a man that reminds me of my father, or run to a man because he reminds me of my father, if you catch my drift. It's either going to be that he was a good man and I'm looking for somebody like my dad, or I didn't have my father and the characteristics of that's what I'm going to gravitate to.
But see, this is my thing. You know, the LGBTQIA plus community always blamed for the non-procreation. We steriling y'all out. We're not steriling nothing out. Black men are doing that on their own with all of the mixed racing over here, fool-la-la with the white women, you fool-la-la with the racially ambiguous women. I mean, and y'all sit up here and don't understand how Drake baby look white. Well, he has more percentage of white in him, y'all, than he does black. No, damn it, you don't understand. Because you don't know what my walk is. You don't know what my life is. So we can't articulate. We can't have conversation of that. And then number 2, I don't want to feel uncomfortable at your white parents' house when we're sitting down eating and the cat is walking across the counter because y'all nasty like that. You know, you just nasty. I don't understand. Yeah.
So I've never dated out my race. I've been attracted to, but every time I get close, I'm like, ugh, I just, no shade. Anyways, but like I said, I had this conversation with my husband because he's dated out his race. And I was like, so how was it? Not that, but just how was it to be with, he said, oh, when they love you, they love you. Oh, but when they hate you, he said, it's a hate that they dig deep and bring up. And I said, wow. He said, I said, well, I did some crazy stuff. He said, no, it's because that passion, like you, black boy, do better. I said, yeah.
But as far as like black men going out, it's a double entendre, because there are some black women that want to be with white guys, but they can't be with them because they have not reached that social economic. And then some white guys know better not to bring home a black girl. But you might find some white guys that will break that rule and be with them and get ostracized out their family.
Get out my
So we're back, y'all, and that was basically the recap of what we talked about last week. That was a snippet. You want to see the whole thing, actually go back to that video. Actually, that video got a lot of views because we were talking about something super controversial. Of course, YouTube limited the monetization on it, as they would, because a lot of advertisers are not going to want for us to have these real conversations, but we're having this real conversation tonight. And it's serious. And you guys like the conversation so much, we decided to come back with a part 2. And the reason why we decided to come back with a part 2 was because you guys wanted to chime in. I do have a lot of followers that are in interracial marriages, even have biracial children as well. And so I wanted to hear from y'all about what Dr. Umar said. It's very, very controversial, of course. I actually follow him on Instagram now. He says some interesting things. I agree with some of the things that he said, but then sometimes I'd be like, oh, brother, I don't know. But you know, he does hit at some points and areas in which we do need to improve on in the Black community. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the link in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and give y'all the parameters before we get started. Okay, we're going to begin on time. We're going to end on time. Everybody going to have 2 minutes to come in, state what you want to say, hit your bullet points. 2 minutes, that's it. I don't want to have to do you like they do people at the Grammys and hit the music on you and tell you, you know, you're going to have to roll on out. So if we can keep it cute, keep it to 2 minutes apiece with everybody. And that way you guys can kind of chime in on it. I'm going to drop the link in the chat. Uno momento, por favor. And I'm going to pin it if I can. Is it going to let me be great on my cell phone? It looks like it ain't going to let me be great. I'm trying to pin it.
I got you, sis. Want me to pin it?
Yeah, if you could pin it. I dropped it.
Did
you get it? All right. Somebody get it. Jesus. Make us one. All right. So it's muted. It should be pinned right in there. So if y'all want to come in, y'all have exactly 2 minutes to go ahead and say your piece in regards to the topic tonight. Because I'm really interested in what a lot of people have to say in regards to this topic. A lot of y'all said that y'all wanted to talk about it. So that's why we did the part 2. One, to get y'all's opinion based off everything you saw in part 1, based on everything that we said, me, Bishop, and Whitney. So don't be shy. Go on and hit that and come on in and let's talk about it. This is a judgment-free zone. We family. We should be able to talk about things and be able to, you know, be respectful to one another. Not disrespectful, respectful to one another in a way that we can articulate each other's words without getting violent or nothing like that. You trying to do all that over here. And while we're waiting for somebody to come into the backstage, I'm going to say hi to everybody. Hey, Lindsay Bree. Hey, Tawana to Inspire TV. Angela B. She's saying hey to the mods. Hey, Dukes. Appreciate you. You always here. Diane Simmons. How you doing? Angie B. Nakia Tucker. How you doing? Sharonda Arrington. Hey, schoolboy, I'm here. I left your brother Bishop. I have to spread me around all the family, a little bit of support. y'all can always watch the replays back. I'm sorry, I think his show ran over a little bit longer than he was expecting. So it's okay. Shantia King says one of my favorite shirts. Yes. Now come on now. Y'all wanted us to do a part 2. Y'all wanted to sound off and don't nobody want to call in and talk. I mean, we could have chose another topic and we could have
Don't be
moved on.
scared. Yeah,
Yeah.
we could have tried something totally different and went in.
Y'all got me over here. I'm sipping my wine. Shoot. I'm waiting on y'all to come in.
Well, it's
say
Cinco de
something.
Mayo, so I got this little Gloria Margarita wine cocktail.
Oh Lord, no,
mix.
girl, that'll have you laid out somewhere. I didn't have that a few times.
Yes, it's delicious.
You know what it remind me of? A Four Loko. Just a little bit less, hood, because it got that same kick to it, So once again, we're waiting on y'all to come in to chime off on the topic, because I will let Whitney go early. It is her son's birthday tonight, so I'm trying to start and begin on time, but I will let her go early, and I will end this joint early too.
And I saw some people in the chat were saying happy birthday to him. Thank you guys so very much. He is turning 15 today. So yes, and the thing is, I came in his life. Tell me about it. I came in his life when he was 7, 8. So 15 is just like okay. So thank you guys so very much. I saw somebody also say, "Oh, I'm giving y'all Eartha Kitt vibes, little cat woman." Y'all better stop playing. Stop playing with me now.
Thank you, Tamara Taronda. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Hey, Ples, what's up? Just getting off work here to show some love, keep up the good work, and teaching the good people. Yes, straight up, power to the peoples. Appreciate y'all. Like I said, the floor is open to y'all. We're sitting here waiting for y'all to come in and go ahead and kick this joint off. So, yeah. Because if I don't get something by the 30-minute mark, we can just roll on up out of here, and I can let Whitney go on about her day. Well, we've told our opinions last week.
I was about to say that.
L. Brownable, this was basically for anybody who wanted to call in. You guys said that y'all wanted to sound off on the opinion, and this is why we did the part 2. If not, we would have moved on to a whole nother topic tonight. So really, we're kind of spinning wheels and kind of like wasting time here. No offense, y'all. I love y'all, but we're wasting time if nobody's gonna come in and talk. So this is what you guys requested, and we're doing what you guys requested. If not, we would have just talked about something else. So if I don't get something in the next 2 minutes, me and Whitney we can just free ball and talk about something else.
I was about to say that because we always talking about something. So
because I don't want to waste time on this.
We can just change the title of this.
Yeah, if y'all are not going to call in. Queen Mama Bear says, I think interracial marriages are a personal choice, but there are some serious convos that need to take place before walking down the aisle. Amen. I think there's a lot of serious conversations that you have to, talk about. There we go. Bonnet Cuties in the building. Thank you, Jesus. Somebody decided to come through and speak on this because, oh, Lord, I thought y'all was scared of something. Oh, I wasn't here last week. It's okay, Jayla Mink. We played a clip earlier, kind of what we talked about last week. So that was why we are just going straight up into it. And I'm quite sure this clip has been viral all over the internet. So y'all should have seen it somewhere. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring Bonnet Cutie into the chat. Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Bonnet Cutie.
Happy birthday to your baby. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
So I just want to make this short because I know you want to get to your beautiful baby. So, mind you, I don't really follow Dr. Umar and some of the stuff he says because, like you said, Schoolboy, he does say some wild stuff, but at the same time, he does say some stuff that makes sense, like this. Like, I'm not fully against the swirl, because I have people in my family. Don't look at me like that, bro. I'm not fully against the swirl because I have family who are, dating people who are obviously Caucasian. But I think the main problem I have personally with people who swirl is, and unfortunately, this is more targeted towards Black men. I think you guys touched on this last week. I think it's more so like Black men, while being with Caucasians or other races, are steady bashing Black women at the same time. And that's my problem with it. That is personally my problem with, hey, Bishop, when it comes to the swirl and stuff like that. Other than that, like, people, to each their own, like, love who you love. Like, I see where he was going with this. I truly do. I do see it. And he does make sense when it comes to certain stuff. And I understand where he's coming from, where it's saying, like, he's, I guess, in a way, diluting the Black race, like full Black race. But, like I said, I have family who are, I have cousins who are interracial, who are mixed babies and stuff like that. So as long as there's mutual agreement and like mutual understanding, in regards to all this, I have no problems, honestly. But like I said, I do see where he come from.
Right. I just wanted to chime in because I myself, like I was stating in the first video, sorry y'all, but we getting ready over here. I'm sorry, so it's gonna kind of be loud, but muting as much as I can. But the thing is that in regards to it, what I think his perspective, where he was trying to say was basically, you hear a lot of people complaining. You know what I'm saying? You hear a lot of people complaining about there are no Black men. You know what I'm saying? And so I think he was just saying, if you are trying to keep that race, regardless if it's Caucasians, Asians, whatever, then you want to stay within your race. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't take offense to it, you know what I'm saying, at all. I feel like we the only race that really don't actually press down on that issue. We kind of just like, yeah, swirl the world. But other races be like, I'm gonna disown your ass. Okay. So I mean, and like I said, I got a lot of interracial in my family, like everything. But at the end of the day, and I didn't go into my marital relationships like, oh, I want a Black man. It wasn't that. It was just like, I knew though that I wanted to be with someone with my race. I've never been kind of like, I never got to the point to where, and let me address this, because last time I think I offended somebody, because I was just like, I haven't dated out my race, and when I get close to, I'll be like, let me be very specific. The thing is that it's not no shade to them. It's just when I've gotten close to sexually, and and so that's what I mean. It was no shade to people that are in that. I mean, it is what it is. Just for me, it's just something I've never just went beyond a point to. But I mean, love is love to me. I don't really care. But for me, I knew I wanted to stay within my race. I've always been attracted to my race. So, but that's neither here nor there. So,
no, I agree with that. Oh,
yeah, go ahead.
But to chime in real quick, anyone who takes offense to this, hit dogs holler. So at the end of the day, if the shoe fits, then the shoe fits. No,
wear it. Actually, because he said all races, because they made the sure to point out that.
And to point that part of it out, me being Afro-Latina, trust me, like, you see it. And it's funny because I've had conversations with people at work about this, how literally, you got your little Hispanic people, they'll have like their little Black friends and stuff like that. And like their mom will be like, oh, Kiki with the Black friend. But if you try to date that Black friend or date anyone that is of this complexion, yeah, they're not flying with it.
I have a question. With you being biracial, do you have to choose? Do they make you choose? Do you have to be black? I said, with you being biracial, do they make you choose? Do they be like, you Black?
Oh, well, I'm not biracial. Like both of my parents.
I thought you said that you were biracial.
Oh no, me being Hispanic, like me being Afro Latina. Like my dad's from Panama and my mom's from Nicaragua. But if you look at my dad walking down the street, you think he's a whole black man until you hear his voice and you hear like that hint of Hispanic mixed with Caribbean, because obviously people from Panama like originate obviously for people from countries of the Caribbean, like Jamaica, Trinidad, Barbados, all that joint. Like, and that's something that Hispanics don't understand, but that's a separate topic.
Yeah, that's
we're not going to dive deep.
I've dated someone that's Panamanian black, and it's that's a whole nother diverse.
That's separate. That's so separate, because at the end of the day, they're just being, I'm sorry, they're just being anti-black. Like they don't understand. Like what people need to realize is Hispanic Latino is an ethnicity. It is an ethnicity. When I go through my census, when I go to the doctor, when I'm filling out forms, I'm going to put my race as black because I sure don't look Caucasian. This hair is beyond straight. So it's like you have to open your eyes. Like we understand you're Hispanic, but and then like Hispanics who are white passing get mad when you call them white. And it's like, that's what you are. Like if we actually were to do a DNA thing down your history, 9 times out of 10, I promise you, you have Caucasian in you, because a lot of the people that came to these countries either brought Africans to the country or brought black people to the country, or they're from Europe and they did unfortunate things to people. And facts are the facts, like go through history. And like anti-blackness in the Hispanic community is just so appalling. It's very upsetting, because growing up, it was very hard to literally balance between being Hispanic and then like also being obviously black, like being Afro-Latina. Like it was so like the number of stories I could say, like where people will literally, even like up to now, 2021, they'll be like, oh, where'd you learn your Spanish? Honey, my dad's from Panama, my mom's from Nicaragua. Just because I look like a negrita don't mean that I cannot speak to you or like understand you. Like it's so frustrating. And I used to hate it growing up. But then as I got older, I realized like being Afro-Latina is a superpower, because at the end of the day, if you hear these little cholitas talking crap about you, you can just nip them in the butt like, honey, I know what you're saying.
I need to learn it because they be swearing I'm Dominican or Puerto Rican, but they be looking at my hair texture and they're like, then they'll start speaking to me in Spanish, and I'm like, I don't know what you're saying.
And that's another frustrating thing. Side topic real quick. That's another frustrating thing with the, like, not just in the black community, I think just in general, when people just think, oh, just because you have nice hair, you gotta be mixed with something. Honey, my girlfriend is full on black. Like, she is a black woman. And before she got her dreads, I saw pictures of how she looked.
Hold on, you said your girlfriend, are you a part of my community?
I'm sorry?
Are you a part of my community? My community.
Yes.
Oh, amen. Yes. Look at God. Look
yes.
At God.
Dang.
No. look at anything else is my girlfriend. But she's black. But like if you looked at her baby pictures and how her hair used to look, she has curls. Like if you look at the ends of her dreads, she has curls. Like you could kind of see like the curl unwinding, and she's black. Like her mother's family's from like New York, and her dad's most of her mother's family is like from New York. Her dad's family's from around here. There's some people from North Carolina. Like we need to stop. We need to just stop. Like as a people.
And good hair is kept hair. Because I honestly see some raggedy, straight haired people who hair was not kept, like, and it was nasty. It looked like pet hair.
Was it looking like that Justin Bieber hair that he running around with right about now?
Yeah, but don't Justin Bieber remind you of Ellen DeGeneres?
Wait, what does he look now?
I'm just saying.
He look like he ain't bathing. That's what he looked like.
I'm talking about before when he first came out.
Oh, when he first came out. Yeah, he had that, where they could shake it and it was just, I know what you're talking about, the Ellen cut. I wanted to get Plaz's perspective on it. Thank you, Bonnet Cutie, for calling in and kind of giving us the biracial, Afro-Latina perspective on it. I wanted to hear from other people that were either married or they were biracial in as far as kids as their experience, because I can't tell nobody else's experience as biracial. I just know a lot about the different experiences, but I want to know about the marriages and how y'all navigate. Because I'm telling you, with all the Black Lives Matter stuff going on, with all the things as far as race and all that going on, and being married and having kids and all that, I want to know, like, how do you have these conversations? What is the conversation between you and your spouse? Do y'all lay in bed at night and just talk about, what's going on jacked up in the world? Or do y'all just act like it doesn't exist? Because Eve, the rapper, said with her husband, who is white, he's European, he's actually from over there, over on the pond where Sharon Osbourne and them is from. She said they don't talk about that. They never had those conversations. So I don't understand how y'all never had those conversations. You laid down and you married this man, but y'all don't have those conversations. That kind of bothered me a little bit. But thank you, Bonnie.
Sorry, real quick before I go up, how do you not have those conversations though?
Easy, everybody fucking and don't
before you
and
like
having conversations. I mean, it's not hard.
Like, for all you know, like, you know how many people I always see random feeds on Twitter about how, like, especially women, it's mainly women I see this feed on. It'll be like women talking about how they really try to date like a white man and stuff. And then literally they'll later on find out that they say the hard N word with the ER at the end, or have said before. They're just like like just racist as hell. But it's just like they fetishize Black people. Or they just don't see anything. I
just don't want to go to your house and the cat is running across the damn table and shit. I just, sometimes it just don't be clean over there, and I just don't want to do that. But hey, to each his own. Y'all do what y'all do. I just can't relate to a white woman. She can't relate to me. I can't relate to her. Because the first time she called the police on me, I'm fighting her before the police get there. I just can't do it. But Godspeed to y'all that can. It ain't for me. The swirl ain't for me. I pray it's just not for me. But thank you for calling in and giving your opinion. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. And hello, Plaz.
Don't be a
hello,
stranger.
Plaz. I do like that plaid top, by the way. It looks very nice.
Thank you. I'm just chilling at home, or work from home day, but thank you.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and Plaz, you tell me your opinion, because you
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to hop on right quick. Like I said earlier, I love y'all. Y'all doing some great work. These are great conversations to have. I just got off of work at about 6:30. So I'm gonna give you my little 2 cents. But you know me, it turns into about 10 cents. And then I'm gonna go get me some seafood enchiladas before we get on over there to all about the tea. But okay, first things first, y'all know who I am about the message and the messenger. Dr. Umar is very problematic. I'll put that nicely. I don't like him. However, even a broken clock is right twice a day. So, he's out here bamboozling the people, taking in the money and donations for a school it's in Never Land, honey. But yeah. I will say that I agree with him on this topic, though. I try not to have, but we family, so we can have these conversations. I don't really have these conversations in public amongst mixed crowds because, I gotta be professional, and I always am. I'm professional. I'm kind. I'm loving to all of God's children, but I'm very much pro-Black. And for some reason, people like to turn pro-Black into something that it's not. I am about preserving my community. I don't care who anybody else wants to love. I simply choose to build my community. And the Black family is the foundation to the Black community. We can't make better communities, better families, better neighborhoods, better everything without the Black family. So for me, when people are like, oh, you can't help who you love. Actually, you can. Because if you don't date them, you won't fall in love with them. Think about it. It works. It works if you work it. So, as I've gotten older, I guess I'm more open to maybe like Black adjacent, like Cuban, maybe Puerto Rican. I don't know, something like that.
In the diaspora, you saying?
in the diaspora.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
My husband keep it right there.
Yes.
Yeah, all right.
But white is a no-go. And I'm not gonna lie, y'all, it's trauma-based. I grew up in the deep South, the deep South. I was called the N-word when I was like 6. So I'm used to it. And I know all white people are not like that. There are some that are wonderful and allies and all of these things. But unless they have truly immersed themselves and become truly culturally competent, I just don't think they will ever fully understand. And honestly, they can't understand. And to the point that y'all were just making about not having the conversations, the reality is that Bishop don't get on me. And I'm not even finna say just black men, because black women do it too. And people in relationships, period. Most people don't want to have hard conversations. They just, we fell for this Disney happily ever after BS that Disney sold us. And everybody thinks you're going to meet somebody, y'all going to fall in love, and you're going to be happily ever after. We still together, but they never have the hard conversations, be it finances, be it what we want for our children, be it our goals together. What are we doing? What are we getting? I watched a little bit of y'all's last episode, and I heard people talking about, and I think Umar was talking about it. Marriage is a business. And I am probably the most hopeless romantic there is, but I have definitely come to the realization that marriage is somewhat a business. You can't marry just for love. Love is not enough. It would be wonderful if it was, but it's just not. Especially if you want to grow and sustain and build wealth and things like that in your life, you have to be evenly yoked. You have to be like-minded. And so for me, because it's already hard to find compatibility just on that alone, when you throw in differences in religion, and I don't mean like I'm Baptist and you're Catholic, I mean like I'm Christian and you're atheist. Like when you throw in big gaps like that, or you throw in cultural issues, it further complicates the marriage and more issues that you have to go through. My brother has 5 children. 3 are half Mexican, 2 are half Filipino, I think. Yeah. I've talked to my nieces and nephews. Some of them are grown now, especially the Mexican ones. It was very hard for them growing up. They were like, we weren't Mexican enough for the Mexican kids. We weren't black enough for the black kids. They hated it, honestly. My brother, I'm gonna spill a little bit of my brother's tea, but I'll just say his wife is Filipino. It's been complicated because he wants to leave California. He wants to move back to the South and go to Texas, but in her culture, even though she has siblings, the daughter takes care of the aging parents. And he's black, he's American. He's like, you got 2 brothers, they can stay here in California and do that. I want to move us to get a better life, a better cost of living, a better everything for our family. And he says that they had those discussions up front, but for whatever reason, they are now at, they're locking horns. And so for me, and then when it gets to Caucasian people, I'll say that in general, again, this is trauma-based. I have been in relationships with men who don't fight fair. Right? When Mad Day comes, and this is anybody who doesn't fight fair, anybody who goes below the belt with their partner where you're using something that they spoke to you about in a vulnerable time, or something they shared with you about your childhood, and they weaponize that against you, y'all, those are red flags. For me, with a white man, I just feel that Mad Day will come one day, and he ain't gonna know how to fight, and he gonna use the N-word, and I'm gonna be in jail. And no one wants that. No one wants that. So to avoid that from happening, I just won't do it. I won't. I can't. So for me, it's a no. No shade to anyone who does it. Like Bonnie Cutie said, I have plenty of people who have interracial marriages and relationships and children in my family. My grandmama had 11 children, so it's a bunch of cousins and grandkids and aunts and uncles. But for me personally, I just don't see it being sustainable. And honestly, in my heart of hearts, it's not what I want. I want a black man with some black kids. We can build a black community center. We can educate black folk. Like that's what I want to do. But I don't put that on anybody else. I do side eye people. There was a big uproar, I think a few years ago, with what's the guy? I quit watching them slave movies, y'all. But the guy Nate
Parker.
Yeah, Nate Parker. If people were up in arms and they were saying his movie did bad because he has a white wife. And I remember on Facebook, I done stopped getting into these Facebook debates, child, but I used to be bad about it.
Yeah, because them old
Keyboard gangster.
Yeah, them Titans.
Yeah, going in on people, honey, going in on people. And for me, it actually opened my eyes to a question that I ask when I'm getting to know someone, dating or courting, whatever you want to call it. It's like, hey, do you believe that you can be pro-black and be married to somebody outside of your race? And a lot of people are like, yeah. And I'm like, no, because to me, the core definition of being pro-black is doing all things in advancement of the black community. If you don't have a black family, you can't. Now, that doesn't mean you're not black anymore. That doesn't mean you can't be a soldier in the movement. That don't mean you ain't a strong black man or black woman. But to me, you also can't come preaching to me on no Malcolm X type stuff. Like, you just can't. I can't trust your message because
I'm with players on that.
you fundamentally didn't get the message. So, like I said, love
that's
love,
a lot of people in power, though. A lot of people in position, they all got white wives.
Absolutely.
All of them.
Absolutely. and what becomes problematic to me, I don't know if y'all follow Demetria Lucas. She used to be on this Bravo show, Blood, Sweat, and Heels. She's super dope. But she actually she replayed this conversation. She typed it out. She got the guy's permission. A few weeks ago, after the George Floyd thing happened, and then with the young lady being shot, one of her black ex-boyfriends called her to basically unload emotionally on her because his white girlfriend from Utah didn't understand. And he was super frustrated that his girlfriend, like, he tried to tell her, hey, did you hear about the verdict? And she was like, what verdict? Like, and that's what people don't get. Like, when I study people, I don't hate anybody, but I study everybody that I'm around. And so for me, I'm able to step outside of myself and honestly know white people don't get it because they don't have to get it. A lot of them don't have to deal with it day in and day out. It's not on their mind. When I got to my new city that I'm in and I joined the women's gym, they had all of these classes like 10 a.m., 12 p.m., 1 p.m. And I'm like, why they got so many classes in the middle of the day? Where the 5 a.m. or the 6 p.m. or 7 p.m.?
Talk about it.
And then it hit me. These women, like, this is their job. They get up, they get their tan, they get their pedicure and manicure, they go to the gym, they look good for their husband. And then they go pick up the kids at 3 p.m. when it's pickup time. And they go home and get dinner ready and started. But for me, and I always talk about this when we talk about dating, how Black women, for most of us, because of our socioeconomic existence, we're taught to go to school to be able to provide for ourselves because Prince Charming may never come in your neighborhood. Whereas most white women are taught to go to college and get a husband. No tea, no shade. Like, that's it. And white boys are taught that a wife brings you status, brings you prestige. Now, that don't mean they ain't out there cheating and beating them or whatever, but they're still taught the foundational importance of marriage. Whereas for some reason, we teach our boys to go sow their royal oats and do all of this stuff. And then maybe when they're ready to settle down at 30, 40, some of them still ain't ready. Then, I had to get it. I got into it with a few of my friends from law school, Black guys, who would start those kind of conversations about how a different race of woman treated them. And I always try to challenge them and say, do you ever stop to think why you get a different type of treatment? One, she don't really care about you getting better or your well-being or whatever. So she's not pushing you. But then two, whether we like it or not, Black women have been leading the Black household since like the 60s. All of that generational stress and trauma and heaviness of having to bear the load and be the provider and be the protector and be all of this, like it seeps in your pores. You know, I can honestly say for myself, I've been out of my mama's house since I was 18. When something breaks on my car, I Google it, I get on YouTube, I see if it's something I can do myself, or at the very least, I take it to AutoZone, get the code read, and I read up on the code so that when I go to the mechanic, I know I know a little bit so he don't really mess over me. When I meet men that don't even think on that level, that can't even think to say, oh, my baby car, the lamp in her tail light out, I can do that. I don't need to pay nobody to do that. Let me get over here on YouTube or my smartphone or something and see what screws I got to undo to do that. It's like they're babies. Not all. It's the ones I've run into in the Deep South, honey. They be wanting you to pull out their chair. I'm like, the hell? So if it gets to that point, I can be by myself. But it's a lot that we have to go through, and it's a lot that we have to understand about each other. I think a lot of men, unfortunately, feel like it's so hard in this world for them. They don't really see that it's hard for us too. And we have the double minority because we are Black and we're women. And a lot of times we're talking at each other, not to each other. And that just furthers the divide. So we got to start listening to each other and we got to start having the conversations. And people have to stop going with what's easy. I would lose count of fingers and toes if I told you how many Black men tell me, she don't ask me no questions. She don't care where I go. She don't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? So you're telling me it's easy. But then when she doesn't understand anything about you, you want to come over here and unload all that crap on me. No, sir. Turn back around. Don't pass go. Don't collect $200. I'm not here for it. So that is it. That is all. I told you my 2 cents was gonna turn into 25, but
Can I? But plans before
No,
you
but
go.
it was legit. It was legit though what you said, and I mean I've heard that on my side of the fence as well as on that side of the fence that men will they want to go for what's easy. If it's less commotion, then it's okay. Or if I cheat on her or I fool la la out here and do this, she okay with it. She fine with it. But I'm gonna tell you, when the water and the money dry up, she gone. Because she's only there for one purpose and one reason, and that's the obsession of the Black man and the fetishizing of it. I guess that's why I can't get into it, because I really feel it's like when I watch 90 Day Fiance and I look at Angela to me fetishizes Michael. I don't think that she really loved him. She just like a man with a big BBC. But he's so damn stupid. All he worried about is getting over to America, and that's his main goal. But a lot of white women, I'm sorry, they're Karens to me, just like her, that's what they like. They into the fetishization of the Black man. They don't want the Black man. They want how it looks and what it presents to them, but they don't want them damn Negroes.
Mm-hmm.
I said something.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're okay. I just wanted to piggyback on something you said that I can you're right on it. I can confirm. You stated that when we turn 18, it's like get out. And I was just talking to my husband about that. Yeah, but see, Caucasian white, they stay till they're 35, 40, they figure it out, they build up and stuff like that. And so for us, we come off as know-it-all. Well, we have to figure stuff out. Yeah, that white girl is going to be so dependent upon you because she don't know shit. She was able to just be kind of dependent upon her family, but we had to get it off the mud. And a lot of men are intimidated by that because it is hard, because we can change our own tires. We shouldn't have to, but we had to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? But they have a little more laxation to their upbringing than we do. So you are absolutely right on that. That's all I wanted to say with that.
Absolutely. And it's the feminine energy, and I can say that now as a 38-year-old woman, that's something that I'm having to go back and relearn. And it's because I noticed when I was at home a few weekends ago with my best friend and some of his other friends that were at the house, where I kind of, and I'm very much I'm kind of traditionalist. I do somewhat believe in gender roles, but I'm not a good, like, I don't like to cook. I don't like to clean up, wash dishes, all that kind of stuff. You come to my house, I mean, you're a guest, so I'll probably give you the real plates because I got real plates. But me, paper plates, forks, spoons, all that. If I could have paper pots, I would have that too. I hate washing dishes. But when I was there with my friend and my friend had barbecued, I caught myself like picking up and going in and washing the dishes. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? And I realized when I'm around men that I trust, that I like, that have you know, they've cooked, he done grilled and did everything and opened his home to me, then it's like I feel it's easier to feel like the least I can do is do this. And it wasn't even that it's a woman's place. It's like, oh, they're hanging out there drinking and chilling. Let me, you know, clean up here so he'll have less to do. Whereas when I'm in a relationship and I'm the one mainly working, in my past, I was in a relationship where I was the one mainly working. I was the one also in school and doing an internship. Like, I'm hustling left and right, and you're just sitting here. No, I don't want to cook when I get home. No, I don't want to clean when I get home. You're gonna take this 4 for 4 and you're gonna like it, sir. Like that. That's it. That's all. So I think people really need to understand, like, you know, I love Jesus. I think we all do. But people, the church has also made me mad about this as well. And that's a whole nother topic about how we train women and we just let the men just go back, just do whatever they want to do. You know, people love quoting the part about wives being submissive to their husbands, and they cut it right there. I'm like, keep reading. You know, husbands also have to submit themselves to God and church and honor their wives as Christ did the church. So it's not just about submission, and submission is more than just bowing down to a man. You have to, is it the right one? Where is he leading you? You know, me and Bishop are going to talk about Chris and Paige, but one thing I hated about Chris, I'm so into God and this, and that. You got Bible study and you can't even, I fed you some chicken, so you should feed me spiritually. No, sir. You're the one who suggested the Bible study. You should be the one leading the Bible study. You know, if we're gonna, people want it both ways. They want to quote the Bible when it's convenient for them. They want a submissive 1950s housewife, but then they don't want to pay the bills. Now, sir, if you want to retire me, I can hang these degrees up on the wall like artwork. And I will be at home with my children at least until they're 5. I can't promise you nothing after that because that gets boring. I got to get out here and do something. But you got to be able to handle it all. And if you can't, if I'm working just as much as you, then now we're in a partnership. So that means you're going to cook some nights. You're going to clean some nights. You're going to read the bedtime stories and do homework some nights. Like, that's only right. I don't understand people who want women to, you got to cook, clean, go to work, pay half the bills, hang from the chandelier in the bedroom, do all the laundry, and you just work and bring money home. And she over there, a whole slave. I can't do it, y'all.
Well, the thing is, though, please, it's because they don't know the Bible. See, all right, schoolboy, no, because the Word of God says for the woman to submit to the husband, but the husband is supposed to do the same. And then furthermore, submission, let's just break this word down because people don't comprehend even submission. Submission is yielding to the God that your husband, that man is serving. See, so really by you submitting to him, you're respecting the Father. So that's why what Players is saying, he got to be the right one. You got to be equally yoked, because if you're submitting, you're not submitting to that man. You're submitting to the Holy Spirit, because it's God, it's him, then it's you, then it's kids. So it's a trickle down effect. So you really ain't got to listen to him if he ain't lined up with the Lord. That part. So she is right on it. And if they knew that, they won't be talking out the side of their neck talking about, I want a submissive woman. Are you submissive, man? You know what I'm saying? Are you submitting? And that's the thing. People need to learn the word. The word says, study to show thyself approved. You need to know what you're talking about, what you want. And you are so on it, players. People pick and choose what they want to because it lines up with it. But it's always another side to the very scripture that they're using. You know what I'm saying? Just like prime example. The Bible says a lot of people want to use children, respect your parents, your days will be longer. But it also says parents, do not provoke your children to wrath. Yeah, you're not supposed to anger your children to where they're going to disrespect you. Okay, so if we're gonna talk about submission, let's talk about the whole scripture. Man, she is supposed to submit to you, but you're supposed to submit to her. He said that the marriage is he built his very foundation of the church on marriage. Okay, so I just hate, you're right on it. I hate when people do that because I'm not that. My husband will tell you, baby, look, if I'm tired, you're gonna have to cook. If I'm tired, you gonna have to give me some. Like I'm not your servant. And I don't know where they get that from, but yes, it is through the church. But see, if you actually know what you're doing at church, you'll know that you are supposed to not just go by what that preacher's saying, get your own relationship with God, get your own understanding with the Bible. So when it come across the pulpit, you ain't scratching your head and just following along. You are actually, because sometimes just like a regular plate, a meal, you're going to have some bones. And you're not going to eat those bones. You're going to throw them away. You take what applies to you and you throw away the bones. You don't just follow the preacher Bible. You're supposed to get an interpretation of the very word that's coming across. And people don't do that. They just run with it. And so the thing is that, yeah, you are supposed to be equally yoked with that person, you know, and I'm sorry, let's go deeper, please. That just may be even within your race. Because y'all gotta be equally yoked. So we gotta be even across the board. And I know some people, you know, may get offended about that.
Y'all gotta stop doing wife shit for niggas that don't deserve it as well.
Absolutely.
You don't give everything out on the table in the front and then expect him to come on through. That no, that's not how it works. If somebody really wants you, they will chase the cat. They will chase it if they really want it and you're worth chasing. Women have taken away the imagination. You've taken away the chase. You've taken away everything. If you give it all to me in one foul swoop, well, what the hell? Why should I marry you? Why you should sit here long suffering for 5, 10, 20 years. And then when we finally do get married 1 year, the shit don't make it. Because, you know, and it's like, what's the difference? The piece of paper didn't change it. You just... Negro, you just didn't want to do this in the first place. She finally pressured you into it, or you'd be sitting there like Jim Jones and Chrissy sitting up there 10 plus years, you in your 50s, and the nigga still ain't trying to marry you. Hi, Nakia. Let me bring to the chat. And I know you are interracially married.
Yes.
You're always on my Instagram. So I want to get your opinion, because you do have biracial children. You said it's been hard for you to try to explain both ethnicities to them and them, you know, navigating the world. So what is your opinion, since you are married to, you know, a Caucasian? Y'all got the swirl going on.
Right.
Hey, wait, hold on, Nakia, 1 second. I don't want to be rude, but bye, y'all. I love y'all. I'm going to go run get some dinner before the show.
Bye.
I love y'all. Good conversation. Good topic. Keep it up. I love y'all. Bye.
Love you.
Yeah. So you guys can hear me. What I was going to say is I am married to a England man, so he's British, okay, but we've been together for 12 years, and we had to start off first with the conversation. Like, I wanted to make sure I wasn't a novelty item. Like, how many black girls you been with? Like, what's going on? Do your mama okay with it? Like, stuff like that. And we met in the Midwest, which at the time, it was really kind of racist in Chicago. So we were getting it in like the first couple months of dating. Like, when you go out and, you know, people address you, and he had to check people because we had the N-word come up a couple times. So I knew, like, okay, this man is down for me, so I can look at him to have kids. But when we had kids, there's the thing where you have to tell both of them where they come from, the culture. Because if you don't, you are disservicing the other parent by not saying this is the culture. And I think what really addressed that was with Meghan and Harry. Okay, because people was acting like it was not happening out here for Black women. Okay, we need to find love too. And they weren't saying, they weren't giving Megan her credit, because I didn't know for a while. I watched Suits, and I was surprised. I was like, she biracial? I thought she had a really good tan for a long time. And when I was like, okay, Megan, go ahead and get you a Harry, because that's how I feel. You got to go for a band that's going to take care of you, but you have to address these issues first. That's why I was really upset with Antoinette from Bell Collective, because I was like, how are you married to somebody and y'all haven't talked about none of this? Like, you don't know how many women he's been with. Like, you didn't think when you were moving to the South that it was going to be a problem. When you're out at Walmart, people look at you, okay, and have some issues. And let y'all both be attractive, because that's how I knew my man was for me. When I was like, we both out here catching faces and people looking, okay, that's where I need to be with somebody that is not going to be having a problem or scared. Like, crosses might be burned in the backyard. I need to know you ready to ride. Like, that's how it has to be. But for my kids, now I've noticed, because of what's going on, like I had to have the conversation about George Floyd. We've had to have the conversations, me and their father, and he is so disgusted. Like, when I mean disgusted, like sometimes he has to be like, babe, is this giving you trauma? Because you're constantly seeing people get attacked. Like, you've told me when we first got together, you felt endangered. And he's like, it's real out here. Okay, he was so concerned, he got me in a concealed carry class. I'm out here carrying in these streets. Like, he was like, you need to be ready, because he's aware of the situation. So that's when you know you have a good partner that can see it. Now, I think that's a problem for a lot of people, because, like they say, it's easy to be in these relationships, la la, and as you say, schoolboy, where you're not given these topics, like you're not discussing things with people. Now, I didn't been across, I'm equally out there for the color lines. And my thing is it was the personality. When you turn out the lights, everybody's the same color. But we can't just be turning out the lights and not getting into the topics that we need to address, because there's strong men and women, all races. But y'all got to be out here moving together as a team. And that's what I'm trying to tell my kids. Like, I had to submit to him, like you were saying, Whitney, but you got to be able to submit to someone you know who's going to take care of the family. Okay. I can't quit my job and being here doing laundry and taking care of the kids if I can't know you can't make rent payments and car payments. Nobody better not come looking for my car or shutting off the utilities. I got to trust you. You got to earn that trust. And that takes time to have a chick sideline for a little bit. It takes some time. But they also have to have that pride to say, this is what we're doing because we're building this family. I want you to be here taking care of the kids, because I don't trust these people out here in daycare and stuff like that. So you hold down the house, you take care of the responsibilities, and I'm going to be out here making this money. But there's a trust for that, and it takes a little bit of time. But I do notice when I'm out here, when people go, oh, well, have you tried to date? I've dated everybody. I've dated in African American community as well. Because I needed somebody that was a personality, that was going to be able to love me unconditionally and respect me. And, you can have people across the board that don't give you that respect and love. And you got to be out here, Serena, and find yourself a man. And that's why people sit here saying there's no good people out here. It's because you aren't open to looking for that.
I mean, you gave a very verse. I mean, like I said, I've had friends that have grown up, biracial. I have had, people in my community that date nothing but outside of their race. For me, it's, I can't relate, but whatever you want to do, let that be the reason. Amen to those that, I mean, if you can't find a Black man and you choose to go outside of your race, all I'm saying is make sure you have those conversations, because a lot of the time when we ignore the conversations, we tend to forget about what's important in those conversations. I think for me, I don't care if you dating somebody black, white, purple, green, or yellow. we are now gotten to a point with our dating that we just don't have certain conversations, and that's, you know, that's just difficult. And we have to do that, and we have to make it clear as of what we want from the beginning, what we're looking for. And you know, women, I will say this time and time again, set the tone of how a man treats you. If you don't set the tone, then, you know, hey, you subject to get whatever you get. And that's just how it rolls. You have to, um, you know, want whatever you want, you know, want it, but stick to it. Stop falling in love with a man's potential. Fall in love with the man that you actually want. Sit down, meditate, pray, stay single. You know, take your time. Don't rush. You ain't gotta put all your eggs in one basket. If you want to date around, tell a person, hey, you know, I'm gonna date you and I want to date somebody else, or say, hey, you know what, when the time comes and you've been around 4, 5, 6, 7 dates, you know, or 4 or 5 dates, and you really digging that person, hey, I want to date you exclusively. We don't talk. That's the problem. We don't communicate and we don't talk to each other, and we're missing that in the community. We're missing that in dating. We're just missing that as a whole. I mean, hell, everybody online just throwing thirst traps and jumping in the DMs. It's no conversation. It's nothing. It's just, do you want a bone? And that's
Yep.
just that's the way it is. Then people will say, oh, well, try this app. Don't try Tinder. It's this. It's all apps. It's all diversity. People, you just have to weed through the bullshit to find somebody that really cares about you, that has some value and that wants to build with you. As long as you're with people that don't want to build, I mean, you know, that's what it is. I mean, I'm not trying to judge nobody and how you date. I ain't policing nobody kitty cat. You do what you want to do, but after a while, you're gonna get tired of running the same race, doing the same thing, and it's not changing. You're not getting no better. You're not coming up here, you know, dropping. You're not doing nothing no different. It's the same shit, just different toilet. And then you're mad. You have to change yourself. You
Yeah.
know, as far as what you want, you have to attract what you want. So if you're not, your shit ain't together, you ain't gonna attract nobody that's got their stuff together. Because even when you do get with somebody that got their stuff together, it's not going to work because you guys are not equally yoked, and that person is over here and you over there. But thank you, Nakia, for your perspective on the interracial marriage and dating and children and all of that. I appreciate that on this evening. And make sure you call in, you know, any other time we have a call-in segment. I appreciate that.
Oh, well, good to see you guys.
Now, Bishop, I want to know, you know, as a black man, has your perspective changed since the last time I talked to you, my brother? Because, you know, you know,
A perspective that changed on what?
on, you know, the out, you know, not dating the sisters. You know, you still out here supporting the sisters in the, you know.
For my personal life, yeah, I do. I know for me, I'm just speaking for myself. I don't really care to date out, and I don't have nothing against other people, but I just don't want to, because I've had a awesome mother, and I had awesome, you know, women around me. But I'm not against anybody that do date out, that do decide to date out, I say. And I don't think they're any less pro-black, because I've seen more pro-black folks who really is for black people date out than people that's in their own group. They're really disrespectful to one another. You hear a woman talking outside her neck to her husband like he's trash, and I'm like, oh, well, you picked him. That's your problem. And so, you know, as far as like the leadership, you know, the reason why we have a problem with what's going on, and I heard players say it from the 1960s, it's been pretty much a single mother-led household, and a lot of that has a lot to do with the fault of our foreparents falling for the okie doke with the government. So when they start taking away jobs away from black men, they introduced a system into where if you take this, you can get supplemented for your homes if you drop your men. And a lot of women in our community has to take that L for biting the apple, and they set their children and their children's children up for the downfall. of saying, well, I would trade my man in for income. And not to say that it's nothing, it's something wrong with uh, um, food stamps and all that stuff. But when white women don't have to trade their man in and still can get food stamps, pretty much like 90% of them are the ones that are on welfare, and only 10% of us on welfare. How you doing? I used to work for the government. I still do work for the government. You want to talk about school system. And I still have cousins and sisters who works in the government. They see all the fouls and everything else. But the problem is when we picked up a bag of BS, our community has went down the toilet. And I see men and women throw back insults and say, oh, well, you date out. We had no choice but to date out because y'all didn't want us. It's a back and forth of both people didn't want each other. We were forced to be with each other because we are, let's be honest, in the country, we're the most brokest folks. We're the most sexually objectified by most groups. And if you want to conquer a group of people, disenfranchise their men and take their women. So this is why you see a big movement, minus, a few of us on this platform, where women will sit there and drag their men for the sake of looking good in front of white men. I mean, it's a big business in dragging black men. It really is, y'all. If you look around, folks get like 350K subscribers.
Do you see the Instagrams with the people dragging, brothers? And I'm like, and there's still some of them out there, Bishop still looking at Derek Jackson and Kevin Samuels.
Yes.
So I'm just like,
yeah, and I have to drag Kevin Samuels because him and Derek Jackson is the same person. Just flip the coin. Just one is potentially like.
Well, I heard Derek Samuels. Kevin Samuels and Dr. Umar got into it, so I got to follow up on what's going on over there.
Right,
we might have to do an episode on that. I don't know what's going on over there, but I know what's going on.
I don't know what's going on with him and Umar per se. I need to check that out too. But I do know Kevin Samuels' genesis when he came into my sector of black men, because there was a dude that was wearing wigs that's funny. And this is what a lot of men hold up as black masculinity now. They can do whatever they want to do and say whatever they want to say. And I'm like, no, this is why this is where I agree with black women, where they can't hardly trust some black men. However, when you do get a good black man, you don't know how to treat him. And we hear about saying that they go over there because it's easier. Well, you got to be honest. You got to understand, like what Player said, that women have been single, single mother household been led by single mothers. It's been going on since the 60s. You got to look at who was his first woman that he seen. And if his mother was a man eater, she chewed men up and spit them out, and she didn't allow him to be around his daddy because daddy no good. He married to that white woman. Well, what you think is going to subconsciously do to that young man? He's going to be like, I don't want no black woman. I don't like, well, let me get used to being, treated wrong. So then he get a mean black woman, just like his mother, and she's mean. And then the grandson, he's like, he might be a millennial now. And he's like, my daddy is a Generation X. Do I really want a relationship like that?
Exactly.
And then so this is why you get the dilution of what Umar is saying now, to where you got to preserve the black culture, but you got to see how the black culture treats one another. You always got to start from the root, about certain things. And this is why I'm saying, if people say they really about what the word says, you will follow the word and follow it to a T. My sister, like what Player says, she went to college looking for a husband. Couldn't get one because she went to a predominantly white college. And the one she met at the church, the Lord spared her, and he was a dog. However, she ended up still holding out with the hopes of getting a husband like my dad is. She wanted a man like my dad. She ended up finding one just like my dad. He literally just like him. He's a nerd, very fun, outgoing, fixes things, respectful, and he actually was my friend. So, she found somebody who is, respectful. You know what I mean? He don't play that either. He's a lot like his dad, and on them different things. So we come from similar backgrounds because our families were friends with one another. And he had to move all the way from Louisiana to California. So, you know, you have to do your background and your research. And a lot of us have bad relationships because we have missing links with our parents. And your relationship always stems from your parents. Because I was taught to be a husband at 4 years old by my dad. I already knew I wanted to be a husband and a father at 4. So it wasn't that hard to figure out what I wanted to do. Now, as far as figuring out a career, that was the only thing. But I always knew I was created, and my purpose was to be a leader and to lead a family and to duplicate what God wants me to do, is duplicate myself and duplicate what I was, what I've learned, and make sure that I'm giving the glory to Him through my duplication. So a lot of people don't understand that, and they be like, I don't make no sense. I'm bigger than just having kids. No, actually, your purpose is when you take your clothes off, it just tells you right there. And then you'll learn more, which is, further along the lines. Everything else is extra, but we forget the main thing sometimes. And I mean, people add on what they want to add on now.
I want to piggyback on exactly what you said, and that's like beautiful. And it's funny you say that because this lady said this in the chat. She said, and this is Lindsay Bree. She states, I want a random and honest question. Do any of y'all think that the feminist movement tore apart Black men and women? I want to answer that. I say yes. And here's why. Bishop just said it. Nowadays, it's not enough to be a wife. It's not enough that you're a mother. It's not enough to be a father. It's not enough to be a husband. It's like, what more? And he's absolutely right. Biblically, and non-biblically, I don't even got to use the Bible, okay? Your sole purpose is to procreate. Is to make offsprings of yourself, and what you just said, what you were taught, you're duplicating that by procreating. And I know, I get it. Some people say, well, everybody's not able to have children. You're absolutely right. But also know that it's a purpose as to the reason why you're not able to do that. And see, people tend to want to be demigods, okay? And they're not content enough with just being just that. See, I like you said, Bishop, I was excited to be a mom. I was excited to be a wife. I knew that young. I was like, I want to be a wife. I want to be a mom, and I didn't know what I wanted to do after that. I didn't. And I knew I was so deep in what I wanted to do that I was an educator. I got into education because I was teaching other people's kids. I loved everybody's kids. I knew I had love in me. You know what I'm saying? So I love being a wife, baby. I'm a bad one at that. You know what I'm saying? I love it. And you are absolutely right. You have to, like we talked about, with our last episode. I'm not sure if you was on it, but it was about relationships. Yeah, you were. I teach my children now. I teach my daughter how to be a wife. You know what I'm saying? And people may think, whoa, how you do that? Well, you teach it by letting them see an example of it. You know what I'm saying? And you correct yourself. You know what I'm saying? When you mess up and when you subject to error. So just to answer your question, I absolutely feel as though the feministic move stopped that, because feminists came in and was just like, oh, I am woman and I can do everything. You absolutely can, but that's not how God created you. You're not created to carry all the load of what a man is. Okay, He made us gentle. He made us have curves. He made us beautiful. He made us poised, and that's enough. He made us to carry life within us and to birth it out, because some men can't do it. Okay, I don't care what y'all recreate. You shove it up his penis or whatever else he done took off or whatever. You still ain't gonna be a woman. I'm sorry. Okay, at me. All right. It's something that
those views do not appropriate over here. Those are Whitney views, okay? Don't come over in my damn comments, because I told y'all my reads is bisexual and anybody can get it.
Testing 1, 2, 3. They mine. Okay, because I gave birth. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. Okay.
That's not my ministry. I don't like penis.
Right. You see what I'm saying? But see, I was created for that, you know, and God prepared me for that. He didn't prepare schoolboy for that. That wasn't what he had for him, but she still got a purpose. See, that's why I'm trying to get y'all to understand. The thing is that yes, I do feel as though feminists came in here and said that us as wives, as women, we're not enough. We have to do what the men do. To hell with that. No, I do not. No, to hell. And you heard me, to hell, okay? To hell, all right? With old boy swinging down the pole and giving him a lap dance. What was the name? Yeah, to hell with that.
Oh, you mean Bolo?
No.
What's the one? No, to give Satan a lap dance.
You see how we forgot about
that boy, that little boy.
That was wrapped around the pole that he swung down. To hell with that. Okay, I am enough. Okay, if I don't ever do nothing else in my life, my children are an indication that I did my purpose and I fulfilled exactly what I was supposed to do. Women, I'm telling you. You are enough. If you're just a wife, you're not just a wife. That's ministry. Okay. That's the reason why God said that like Bishop said, okay, that is enough. It's a lot in just being a father. That's ministry because everybody ain't able to.
I tell you, every time I come over there, it let me know that I am not able, and I was glad that God made me a lesbian because Jesus, I can't do it. Y'all,
everybody ain't able.
They run around and they don't shut up.
Everybody to do that. He didn't design everybody to do that. You know what I'm saying? And so the ones that we are, I'm proud to be that. And you're not going to take that right from me. I am enough. Me being a wife, I am enough. Me being a woman, no, I am enough. No, I am that. Okay. And so the thing is that yes, to answer your question, I do. And I think it was damaging more so to the black men. We already had a lot of stuff against us. It don't really affect no shade, don't really affect the white people because they have the ones that are feminists.
And
they have the ones that take movements from us. Just like let's go there. Just like Me Too. Who founded that movement? But do you hear about her? No, you saw what's the face Rose. She be the face, and she over there messing with a 17-year-old on set. The other little witch lady that was on there with her, whatever. Come to find out with the movie that she was in, he was 17 and she was sleeping with him. And you talking about Me Too? Yeah, they come in, they take over. Milano. Let's go there. They come in and they corrupt what we have going on. Okay, because let's be honest. The Black Panthers, they created government assistance. Am I not right around? Yeah. See, that was supposed to be the benefit of us. But see, they come in and they make it seem like they put us in bondage. Because another thing that you said, Bishop, and I'm a living proof of that. I try my best to get like food stamps and stuff like that, and I can't get it because we make too much. I'm not even asking to make a lifetime move enough that I'm just trying to get a little help because we just need a little help. We don't need a lot of help. But even the people that need a little help that's married, that want to do it right, we can't get it. Oh, but if I lie to you and tell you that I done separated from my husband, because I had to do that at one point in time. I had to lie and tell you that I'm separated from my husband and then I'm living with my mama and then I'm paying her so-and-so amount and then you gave me food stamps. See, it's all a setup. It's all a setup. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is that we have to do better with educating our children. We have to do better with showing them clear-cut examples. And that starts with setting the standard of even race. Like I said, no shade, no tea to the interracial people. And like I said, I have it in my family. No shade to them. But I did make a cognitive decision because I saw it in my parents. My mother, as yellow as she is, she's a black woman. Okay, schoolboy tell you she yellow, she hot yellow. Okay, but she's a black woman, and she don't no shade. She be like two yellows don't make her right. Okay, she love her some black men. She love her. Look, I'm gonna have to have her on her. I'm dead serious. My mama love a chocolate man. Okay.
And that's weird because light-skinned men it's
they don't right. You don't really see that. A lot of yellow bones like them some chocolate men. Look at the history. And so the thing is that my mom set that example. My aunt set that example. Like that's what's in me. So if you want to see that be a continuation, you have to set the standard. You have to set that element. Women, we have to do better as wives. Yeah, we have to do better as wives. We have to do better as women. We need to be more hygienically aware of ourselves. Let's talk about it. We have to do better. We have to do better, and it starts with
Stop
us
being the
as
Cardi
the
B's
people.
of the world. Stop being the
Exactly. Cardi B
B's of the
doesn't
world.
represent me. She really don't. She's not black. Okay.
And that is really
just
the
saying.
problem. That's and I like what you're saying. That's the problem of feminism, because my father told me the history years ago. You say it started with women's lib. It was about being treated as a human being. And he said, and then it tailed off something else to where they could trick black women into getting more votes and more women to stand behind them, and then tossed them to the side. Because literally government assistance, you like what you were saying, to help our black children, but it turned out to end up helping white children.
Because they the predominantly ones that's on welfare. Let's be real. Why they making us be the statistic? No, you do your research. It's white people that are doing it. And I'm gonna let you get back to it, Bishop, but real quick, she naturally Mar said they don't like see black people two parents. Let me tell you this. Don't worry about what is out there, because they're gonna show you what they want to. You be the realist. You be the realistic approach to life, because this ain't real. How we talking and stuff, what I told y'all, how Bishop, you learning how to be a husband at 4, that's not thought of. But
and you're never gonna see it. You're never gonna see it. Y'all need to stop living in this fantasy of TV shows that, oh, they're gonna give me a successful black family. I will keep saying this. You have Monique and Chris Samuels, beautiful black family. He loved his wife. He ain't out here fool la la and cheating on his wife. They did not want that on reality TV. They wanted drama. Y'all have to understand, TV is not going to give us what we want, what they want, what we want to see as the black family. They're just not going to give us that. So if we want to see the change in our own community, we have to do the work ourselves. We have to be the change. So when somebody had told me on my Twitter, they said, well, you know, schoolboy, you got to talk. I live what I talk. I talk what I live. I'm not phony. That's why y'all gravitate towards me, because I'm not lying. But there's a whole lot of people that get online. Oh, I'm so spiritually inclined. I meditate. I do all this and that. But at the same time, they're selling you a flat tummy tea. They're selling you the TLC products. They're selling you this, that, and the third, CBD. And y'all up there just eating it up, you know, because there's a niche that they hitting in the black community because they are black. Somebody white came up with that business and put some black people in front of it and said, hey, go ahead, take this to the hood and tell them that they can go ahead and make it. That's the problem. And then another truth, I'm going to have to say this because y'all pissed me off last night in that damn chat with Monica. Let me say this. A lot of y'all got mad because that was a lesbian woman that was taking care of Apple's children. It wasn't because she wasn't a woman. It was because she was what y'all call a black dyke. I'm gonna say the slur because I'm gay. I can say it. That's what it was, and it upsetted your spirit. But if you take away what her flesh looked like and what she looked like, she did something that most black women ain't gonna do, which is take care of somebody else's children. So I'm gonna call a spade because y'all get on my damn nerves with this shit of cherry picking what you want to be mad about. I'm gonna say what it says because I am a part of the damn community, and I'm gonna tell you one more again. Don't you ever, as long as you feel the need to be one of my followers and say that you don't like Monica and Monica was messy. No, Monica brought a light to something that somebody got on her platform and lied about. But what you was upset about was because she was black and she was a lesbian. Had she came on there and looked feminine and was black, you wouldn't have had a goddamn problem with it. So I'm just gonna clear that up.
I'm glad you said that.
For y'all in the back that don't understand that, because I got a homophobic comment on my shit this afternoon. And I'm gonna tell you this again. Don't say you like me, but you got a problem with gay people, because I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gay all day, every day. These toes don't stop twinkling from being gay. They're gay all day, every day. Don't accept me, but then talk shit about my LGBTQIA plus brothers and sisters. Because what that means is that you only like me for the purpose and for as long as I'm giving you what you want to hear, but you don't really fuck with me. So I'm just going to go ahead and say that.
And I'm glad you said that, because I've noticed that too. And I'm like, okay, I get it. You know, you don't agree with her lifestyle, but she was offering love to them children. That was my main concern, because like I told you, I had a cousin that passed away from, you know, drugs and usage for so many years, and she was in her mid to late 40s. She was my oldest cousin on my mom's side, and she struggled with it for so many years. Beyond that, even her son, he's saying he identifies as being a girl, and she never really had a real conversation with him. And what I told them, I said, you know what, in the midst of him, saying that he's a girl, just love that little boy, show him what love is, because he lost his mother, and on top of that, he's not really around his father like that. And I said, and make sure he gets some counseling, because his real issue is what he's facing about the death of his mother. He's trying to take on her essence because that's what he misses. And I tell people, even with Lily last night, I didn't care about her preference of who she likes and what she identifies as. I looked at a woman that was crying because she was trying to help some children that needed love. She didn't ask for them kids. That's all I saw, was a woman that wanted to love the kids. And I said, I prefer them kids to be with her than with Apple. I don't want them to be in the system, because I know what they have done to kids.
Bishop, you saw the comments that I saw.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the homophobia. I saw the gay bashing. I saw all the mess. I'm just saying, so what? I may come to y'all as real as can be, but I just want to say this. Please do not disrespect my damn community, because I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of gay people are the ones that are up here in the front lines for the rest of us black folks out here. It's a lot of y'all black people, a lot of black people that don't want to be out here fighting for nothing. They only care about 1% of us. And I'm just going to say that. They only want equality for certain subsets of black folks. They don't want equality for everybody. Oh, well, you ain't got to include the gays. Well, the gays been out here since the civil rights movement. Do your research. There was gays in the civil rights movement, but y'all don't like to talk about that. Like I said, I just don't like the homophobia. I don't like the bashing, and I don't like the bullshit comments. Because I had an old ass lady. I didn't even go back and forth with the heifer. I just blocked her because I find it disrespectful. If you don't fuck with Monica, you don't fuck with me. We move as a unit over here. I don't, what does people's sexuality have to do with what she gave? I just wanted to say that tonight because I had to get that off of my chest because it was bothering me since yesterday. And I was not the only one that peeped that, Bishop. And I'm glad you peeped that too as a heterosexual black man.
Yeah.
Let me say that again.
Because you know what? I get it. I get it from both ends. Like, I get heterophobia from people that are on the LGBTQ side because they were like, and all that. I'm like, okay, I know we're the majority of us, but as a heterosexual black man, I get people from the LGBT community come at heterosexual black men's neck. I even get heterosexual black men who identify as being as a male feminist at my neck. I get feminism, feminist straight black women come at my neck, and then I get other, white people and so forth. And I'd be like, what is the hetero black phobia is about? And what I understand is that we always been the whipping boy. And I think a lot of people don't understand that because it is so far-fetched and it's so far gone, it's crazy. And this is why I treat people with respect on every side, because I know people struggle on every end. I've heard of my sisters struggling with raising children, and they didn't want to be in that situation. So I always know that there's loud people in every group that sound so stupid and ignorant. It's like, oh my God, like, shut up. Like, you sound crazy. You know what I mean? So that's why I disregarded the people in the chat room, because I'm like, okay, y'all not even looking at the bigger picture. The kids is what's the main concern. I don't care about her sexuality, and I don't care about Apple being on drugs at this point. Same thing about my cousin. I love my cousin very dearly when she was alive, but forget about her. What's going on with her boys? My cousin has 2 boys, and being on drugs, you may not have the same daddy, but she was married to someone. So, being out there, he didn't feel like the last kid was his, and he's not taking care of both of them kids. Both of them kids, one is with my cousin and her husband, and the other kid is with his side of family with her, with the relative that can't have kids, and they're a couple as well. So it's like, you know, look beyond about what you feel and what you believe sometimes. Try to look at the bigger picture. Do we want stronger and healthier kids to lead the nation once we're gone?
Right.
That's the question.
And Whitney, since she finna roll out because his birthday's about to start for DJ. So
Yeah.
happy birthday to DJ, my nephew.
Yeah,
Happy birthday.
it's finna get loud. His mom is here. I mean, we got kids. Darren done turn up the radio. So I'm gonna be watching you guys. I love y'all so much. I just want to lastly say you do what's best for you. Black, red, purple, gray. You know, you do what's best for you. You know, don't take anything to heart. My views are my views, bishops are bishops' views, and schoolboy views. But at the end of the day, we're all doing this out of love and respect for the person. Period. We don't mean to hurt anyone. Don't be so sensitive. Okay. We're in the times where everybody's sensitive. Okay.
Yes.
Don't be so sensitive, because if you know my heart, you know me. And all I do is love. That's why I get offended when people try to come at me about my relationship with Schoolboy, because I love her. I love Tiara. I'm Schoolboy. I love Tiara. That part. Love you guys so very much. And you guys can follow me at Whitney_D_TV on all my social platforms, Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook is Whitney R. Davis. My YouTube is Whitney D TV. Thank you guys so very much. If you like my opinions, please head on over to my channel, like, share, subscribe, check me out. I love you guys so much. Bishop, I love you.
Love you too. Shout out to DFW.
Hey, you gotta come down and party with us.
Oh, that's my family from. I'll be out there every once in a while.
Well, this summer, if you like her, I'm gonna have you leaned over like school.
Okay. All right.
They having a boat party. They having a boat party.
Yeah, we having a boat party. I'll give you all the information.
Okay, that's what's up. We hope that Players and a few other folks down south come join us.
Lulu, I know you in the backstage. I'm gonna be listening to you. Love y'all in the chat. Y'all be blessed, okay?
All right.
All right.
You have a good one.
I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up, y'all, real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and take Lulu. This is the last call, because last call for alcohol, because it's about to be 15 minutes before the show is gonna start over on All About the Tea, and we still ain't got the link. Hell, I need to tell Monica what's up with the link, bruh.
Right.
Lulu, and what is your perspective on it? I know you said that you are interracially married, so I would like to hear your perspective.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Good.
Okay, so yeah, I am, but I wanted to say something about what the lady that went off. I wanted to add on that. I may say the wrong thing, but I just feel like us as Black people, why do we always have to be the ones to, it's like everything else happens to other races, and then they say, well, how can, like, okay, I'm talking about the stop Asian hate thing. Why was it that we needed to be the ones to learn how to, I guess, feel sorry for them? But for the most part, most of them in the beauty supply store, following you around. So, I mean, I just feel like, why is it that we always have to be the one to compromise? Why is that? Like, why? I mean, they did this thing on CNN talking about how Black people can understand that. But why? Why, when they don't I've never, well, okay, maybe they're there, but I've never seen Asians be outraged when someone who's Black loses their life. So I just, I don't want to, but that's just my opinion on that. And that's why I didn't even jump on the bandwagon when everybody on social media was posting stop Asian hate, this, that, the next. It's like, but they have to acknowledge that they too can be racist. If you all remember during COVID, when it first started, they were kicking out those Black people out of apartments. Why? And then it's like, okay, because now they're killing them, we all have to be like, oh my gosh, like, anyway, that's what I had to say about it.
And then they try to throw it off onto Black men is aggressive towards Asian people, and I'm like, excuse me, like, no. If you look down history, it's mostly white people killing Asian people in this country. Now, is there domestic disputes? Are disputes between amongst two different people of different races? Yes, but it's not Asian hate crime. Because if you want to do that, then we could go down to, like what you said, the beauty supply stores where the men have to go bust some windows out because they were mistreating black women. So I don't like all that.
And why the hell we gotta always show sympathy to everybody else? Don't
Right.
nobody do that for us. This is my opinion.
Like, you are in our neighborhoods. You don't even hire. You don't even hire our people. You may have one or two, but it's mostly people from your country. You know what I mean? It's like, to me, that whole thing, I don't wish anybody to, be killed or whatever, but I just feel like they too need to acknowledge that, look, we are this way towards black people. That's all I'm saying. Like, we can't talk about all this hate without them taking accountability for the things that they do to our people. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know. So when she was talking, I felt that. I really did. The Me Too, whatever, and everything. It's like everything is wrapped in there. Me Too, Black Lives, everything. It's like black people, we have to be, oh yeah, well, we're the ones to like understand. But nobody seems to want to understand us. Why is that?
They don't want to try to. And Asians have the same adjacent of white privilege. White people give them that same privilege. So that's a whole nother damn topic for a whole nother day. That's a different type of privilege.
So anyway, they're
Thank you for calling in, and I appreciate it. We are gonna go ahead and wrap it up.
But that's okay. You guys,
it's okay.
Over there, all about the tea. I'm watching.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a good time. Oh, they're gonna talk about Zonique getting trolled by that.
With that professional shade. Oh my god.
Yes, and I had to block somebody today over that. So,
be blocked and be blessed.
Be blocked and be blessed. But thank you for calling me, and I appreciate it.
Okay, all righty.
All right, Bishop, we're gonna wrap it up. Where can they find you, Bishop? Because you be over there binding the devil over there on your channel. I saw you up there earlier. I said, oh, he getting moist. I said, moist men? They're moist now? I said, oh, moist towelette.
And that's what I'm saying. I have to say that, just going a little quick tangent. And I tell people, I said, I don't mind whatever your sexuality may be. However, if you're going to be over here representing masculinity, you need to be up to that par. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it just bothers me because we have communities set out for different people for reasons. And there's major reasons. And I remember hearing his story years ago, who we talk about, because he used to be a cheerleader. And he said he always been accused of being gay and things of that nature. I'm like, okay. And I remember saying years ago, I'm like, well, if you don't feel comfortable over here, there's a community for you that will, embrace you. Because there ain't no problem, because I don't want nobody harming themselves. I even said that on one of my streams. I said, if you are fighting internally with your sexuality, I don't want you killing yourself over it, because you're still a black life.
Young lady that just got lynched. So
she got lynched?
Yeah. In Massachusetts, there was a young black girl. She was LGBTQIA+. She was lynched. So.
I'm telling y'all, they don't care if you're gay, straight, or whatever. They're going to lynch you. That's why I have a lot of respect for Riley Knox, because she committed to who she wanted to be. She transitioned over.
That's why you have to. That's why you have 5 years of intensive. You're supposed to have 5 years of intensive therapy to make sure. Because once you go, it's no reversal. You can't go back. So you need to make sure that if what you're gonna do, you're gonna do that and stick with that in your decision. But I had somebody that went off on me because I did my little video earlier, and I said, parents need to be cognizant of what they put online because it affects your children, whether they older or younger. And I referenced Zonique and that man that came in her chat trolling. And somebody wrote me a dissertation. And somebody told me, they didn't like Monica because Monica was messy as hell for last night's show, and and why we up here judging a black man, we don't judge the Kardashians, and what the hell did the Kardashians got shit to do with T.I. and Tiny? Nothing. Kermit and Piggy have nothing to do with them. I don't like, if you doing some goofy shit, I'm like you, Bishop. I'm talking about you. I don't care what color you is. I don't know where this old school lady came from. And I'm gonna say your name, Doreen, whoever you was, Doreen, whatever. You were blocked from my page because it's ridiculous that you even came under my comment section with that. Then try to bash Monica. Then talk about she like me. You can't like one of us and don't like all of us. You wrong for that, ma'am. And what I said was true. You just one of them people that keep Ray that be touching the nieces and nephews at the family events, and you know he dirty and he nasty, but you don't say nothing. And that's the people that make me mad, Bishop. I'm sorry, people like that make me mad because they get capped for these celebrities like that.
And you know what makes me mad too? Like even when you said they keep that uncle around, they keep them aunties around that help that boy to grow up to be a man.
They sure do.
If you're a mother and you allow some other woman to touch your son in the name of him being a man, you a terrible mother. How about that? I can't stand that. I can't stand enablers of destruction. Y'all get the worst of what other groups of people do. Y'all pick up their trash, but when it's time to pick up the good things of what other groups do, like as far as building generational wealth and actually sticking together, actually marrying one another, y'all don't even do that. No. I'm like, wow.
Because when we talk about the real shit, y'all swear, I want somebody to tell me something real. Then when we tell you something real, you don't want to take that in. So the hell with you.
Like Don,
aspect.
like Don, like people like Don Lemonade and a few other folks. They marry outside their group. I'm like,
Don Lemonade forgot that he was a Negro until he got pulled over in Atlanta, and they reminded him he was when he was married to that white man. I don't see it for him neither.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Van Jones, don't see it for him either. He can go too. And it's a lot of them that they can go.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, how dare you? Already going through the struggle and you saying you protect black women and you can't even marry your own black woman. Like, excuse me, ma'am. Like, where they do that at? Like, I'm confused.
Damn, if you're gonna be in my side, but goddamn, at least get you a black woman, a black whoever in the LGBT. Why it gotta be somebody white? Why it gotta be somebody? I'm just saying
because that white supremacy in them. It is. They don't want nothing that reminds them of themselves. And I figured it out.
They trying to get that corporate ladder too. They think because if I stay with the white, if I stay white adjacent, then I can go further up. But they still gonna remind you you a nigga.
And can you do a stream on that? Like even on the LGBTQ side, where they try to say, "Oh, well, black men only want to marry white men. Only black women only want to marry a white man." But then you get these ninjas in the other community that want to marry a white man or a white woman. I'm like, excuse me.
And that's why I said me and Whitney would love to bring you back on another subject. But that is a good subject that we need to talk about that. If the moist men is on, they talking about that over on Bishop page. Y'all, they was talking about the moist men, okay?
Moist towelettes.
Moist towelettes. They trying to lead y'all, but can't lead y'all nowhere but to hell. Bishop, where can they find you?
You can find me on my channel at The Bishop, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And you can also find me on Instagram and Twitter at Bishop Redhill. Thank you for having me, bro.
You're welcome. We gonna roll on out of here, y'all. I love y'all. Thank you for anybody that gave a super chat, Cash App, PayPal, anything tonight. I'm gonna go head over to All About the Tea tonight, where we're talking about those fiascos over there. I love y'all. Y'all have a great night. Meet me over there tonight. I definitely love y'all a lot. And we're out of here. Y'all meet me over there.
Get out my head.